Tower Hill is, as we all know, one of the jewels in the crown of southwest Victoria. But have you ever wandered through there and thought to yourself, this place really deserves to be on the big screen? Well, it seems that it soon will be. We'll be doing that thanks to a grant from the Southwest Community Foundation. David McIntyre is the board chair for the Southwest Community Foundation. And joining us this morning, Dave, welcome to you.
Good morning, Jeremy. Thanks for having us.
And also with us is Mike Raetz, who's a local geologist who we've met on breakfast a couple of times here in the past. Mike, welcome to you as well.
Yeah, good morning.
So, Dave, why don't we start with you? Just give us a quick reminder about the Southwest Community Foundation and these grants. So you've handed out quite a bit of money recently. This was one of the projects, which we'll obviously delve into in a moment. But just remind us, I guess, why you do this and who gets this money as well.
Yeah, well, the Southwest Community Foundation has been around since about 2007. And over that time, we've built up a store of funds that we both invest and also grant out to the community every year. And over the years that has built up, and we support very small community grassroots projects that have as wider impact as we can possibly find. We've just completed our grant round this year, and with our partners, the Fletcher Jones Family Foundation, and also donations from our own fund, we're able to contribute to worthy causes and people that apply from around the region. And our region, it goes from as far as the Otways all the way to the border with South Australia and as far north as sort of the Grampians area. So we do what we can to spread the money as far as we can and make as big an impact as possible each year.
Yeah. Do you normally find that you're oversubscribed as well? Are there a lot more people who are trying to get their hands on what you have to offer than you're able to assist?
Absolutely, without fail. Usually, as a rule of thumb, about 3 times as much applications as we can fund. So of course, we always love people to donate and help contribute to that and help fund those projects going forward.
Yeah, so you can fund as much as possible, I guess. Well, in that case, we should say congratulations, Mike Raetz, as well, for being one of the successful applicants here. Now, I think, Mike, we spoke to you, must be just about a year ago now, I think, when we were talking about the quarry issues around Tower Hill. Obviously, Tower Hill's been a real fascination for you for a long time.
Yeah, and I guess that's how we got to where we are today. And as part of that sort of understanding, I mean, when I started getting concerned about preserving some of the really special and rare geology in that quarry that's been filled at the front of Tower Hill, and I sort of pretty soon realised that there's a lot of people came and spoke about the area, and what was really obvious was that there were many people that really cared, and what was needed was probably a little bit more understanding that could lead to conservation. And to that end, we were lucky to get a small grant to make a short film, which was shown at the Adventure Film Festival last November. And that was made by a local filmmaker called Martin Stringer. And that's really where we're going. We're going to, I've got that short film. It's called Tower Hill, Stories of a Volcano in the Belfast Coast. And it's really, we want to make that into a more meaningful documentary.
Because of course, I mean, making any sort of film project to any sort of standard is a pretty costly affair, isn't it? In this case, I think you've got about $12,500. How far is that going to go?
Probably about halfway.
Right, good.
But it's like everything, you cut the cloth, to fit, sort of thing, and that's what Martin did last time, and he's really quite an extraordinary bloke. He's actually up in the Daintree at the moment. He's a conservation sort of specialist, and he did a fantastic job. And we were able to introduce a lot of voices. I mean, my interest was quite specific in the geology, but what we found by listening to people about the area, that we've got all these other voices came in. The voices in the film would include there was Shane Howard, Jock Sarong, Brett Clark, and others. And what we found really was that a landscape sort of becomes a place of significance to people once people start talking about the culture. And that was really the big revelation for me, and the impetus now to tell this bigger story, partly because of Martin's input and also I don't know, just all the people that gave their voices and the passion.
Yeah. Now I understand the Port Fairy Tourist Association are also involved in this. What's their involvement in this venture?
Well, they're auspicing the grant, so the money will go through the Tourist Association directly to Martin to enable him to edit and make this film. So that's their involvement. But I think just their appreciation of the importance of this story to us all.
Yeah. I mean, where are you hoping this is going to end up, this film?
Maybe on ABC, I don't know. I don't think it'll quite become a Netflix hit, but...
well, you never know.
Yeah.
But I mean, this could be like a stepping stone to something further, I suppose, couldn't it, also?
Well, the something further might be, I mean, what's become apparent is that whilst I was talking about Tower Hill and the volcanology and a specific explosion that sort of still needs to be conserved in that quarry, what became apparent was that Tower Hill's got this long, intimate connection to what we're calling now the sort of the land between two rivers, the Moyne and the Merai, with this big Mar volcano sort of overshadowing that hole right in the centre there, and there's a wetlands used to connect that from both sides, much like the geomorphology of the Coorong. And I think that cultural story, and that's really, so it's become a much bigger story than, one volcano and one quarry face. It's really a story we would delight to hear, I think.
Yeah, I mean, an evolving story as well, isn't it? One of those ones that I think, perhaps we all like to think, we know what Tower Hill's about, but there's a lot that we obviously don't really know about it yet, or that we're still discovering about it. I mean, David, what was it about this that really appealed to you and the foundation, I suppose, as something that made you think, yep, this is something that we want to get behind?
Yeah, well, this is the exact project that we're here for, is that the Tourism Association obviously saw the short film and decided that, it'd be really valuable to get the bigger story and to do it well. And for us and the Fletcher Jones Family Foundation, we just realised that if the story was told well and in a big way, it would have a long-lasting impact. It's captured forever and people can see it over and over and over again. Yeah. And it also means that it could potentially go into schools and just educate more people around Warrnambool about, the land on which they live. And even yesterday I was driving out to Portland to go to a fun run, and after having seen Mike's talk, I could see in the landscape where all these geological features had come from and how they evolved over time. So even that slight little bit of connection, if that could happen 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold across our region, that's the kind of impact we love to fund projects for. Yeah, indeed.
Well, good to get a bit of a sense about, I guess, this particular project. There are many others, of course, that you've funded as well. Just briefly, I don't know anything else that, I don't want to sort of highlight anything unfairly, but was there anything else that really sort of stood out for you or that you're really excited about in this year's list?
Yeah, there's a number of things that are we really love to support, and from a number of organisations we've supported them over a number of years as well. So things around Warrnambool, such as the hands-on learning program and the community garden, we've continued to fund bits and pieces for them to help them grow and evolve, but also further afield with new groups, places like Coleraine, a few programs down in the Otways, and as well as mentoring workshops and a Indigenous community group over in Portland that are teaching young people there how to cook with Aboriginal foods, and Indigenous foods, and things like that. So that's the community foundation as a whole. We a spattering of things across the region that have large and cultural and hopefully ongoing impact.
Yeah, fantastic. And we might try and dip into a couple of those as well. Well, thanks again for giving us a bit of a reminder of what it's all about, I suppose. And look, we should just maybe talk about briefly timelines as well. So you've just announced those grants now. What happens from here as far as the foundation's concerned for your next lot?
Basically, we just make sure the money gets out the door before the end of financial year, and our grant round starts again next February. So in the meantime, we've got a lot of compliance and stuff to do, but we also want to remind everyone, of course, that it's tax time. So if you want a tax-deductible donation that goes to projects in our region that are paid for in our region, then we'd love to have your support. And, we can do this all again next year.
Indeed, get in touch. Dave, thanks again very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Mike, thanks to you as well. Good to catch up, and looking forward to seeing this film when it's complete. Yeah.
Catch ya.
Fantastic.
Good on you.
Thanks again. Mike Raetz there, who's a local geologist, and David McIntyre, who's the board chair for the Southwest Community Foundation.